Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner, and this is another edition of Car Conversation on JayLeesCorner. Okay, how y'all doing? Happy Wednesday, happy Hunt Day, and all of that. Okay, I told y'all because y'all said to me, we missed the car conversations, your random conversations about whatever's going on or whatever. And I said, well, girl, get back into it. So that is why we are here today. Okay, now it is Wednesday, so I will be live tonight for a gossip hot topic chat at 9 p.m. on the corner. Okay, I premiered a video earlier today about the YouTube beef that ended in a pop. So go watch that. And y'all know it's always other content up on my channel, so go watch it. Okay, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Okay, now the BET Awards aired Monday, right? 5-hour show. Okay, they had plenty of people around there performing, but they also had 4 folks that got the Ultimate Icon Award. One of those people being Snoop Dogg. Okay, now I was like, oh, okay, you know, Snoop had a good performance or whatever, blah blah blah. And then I saw folks saying, oh my God, I thought he was white. I thought we didn't like Snoop. I thought he was mad at Snoop. You know, Snoop performed at an event for Code 45 during his inauguration, and we, including me, were upset. Okay, I said, now Snoop, how could you? And so folks was bringing up the hypocrisy, the bias that Chrisette Michelle has been kind of like blacklisted a little bit, because she was banned, child. She even a part of the black delegation anymore? And that happened the first time Code 45 won. Okay, back when he was 45, now he's 47. Okay, and so I was like, well, is he being hypocrites? Is there a bias? Because to me, the people who stand out when it comes to who we were upset with, when it came to them supporting, dancing for, performing for Code 45, it was Chrisette Michelle, okay, Nelly, who was recent, and Snoop, who was recent. All 3 are artists. They're all, you know, 2 rappers, 1 singer. And because folks said, well, how is that Snoop is around here getting the Ultimate Icon Award if we supposed to be pissed at him? I said, well, that's kind of true. You know, could it be that, you know, because Snoop is this black man, this black rapper? They also pointed out how Dr. Dre gave Snoop the award, and Dr. Dre in the past has been accused of, you know, domestic violence and violence in general, all the way back to Michelle, all the way up to his current ex-wife, who he was beefing with or whatever. So they're like, you know, even the fact that they had Dre giving Snoop the award, Snoop getting the award after we was upset with him for performing at, it was a crypto ball event during like the inauguration weekend and stuff. And Snoop, we called him out. I did too. I was upset. I still am, okay? And he was like, look, I went and DJ'd, because he did not perform. He said, I went and I DJ'd for 30 minutes, made a whole bunch of money, made some connections to help people in my neighborhood, in my environment, in my community, and I left. I went home. Now, the one thing I felt was different between what Chrisette Michelle did and what Nelly did, I feel like Snoop didn't say he was supporting Code 45. His point was, I went and made some money, went and made some connections that can hopefully help people in my, you know, community. I can get with that. At least you trying to get a hold of people to help people who look like us, hopefully, okay? So I'm still upset that he went. I was still upset that he went. I was upset that anyone participating, okay? But I feel like with Nelly was like, look, I support the office and whoever's in. I said, you can't do that. Nelly, to me, kept doubling down on supporting Code 45. I don't recall Snoop saying he was supporting the office or supporting Code 45. His point was, I went and made some money. I DJ'd for 30 minutes and made some connections and I went home. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like maybe that's why Snoop was smart. Snoop said one thing, I think, when he was on the Breakfast Club, the interview was on the Breakfast Club. And I ain't say shit else about that. Snoop then went and sat down and minded his business until today. Well, until Monday on the award show. So he wasn't doubling down. Hold on, y'all. Construction. He wasn't doubling down. He wasn't, trying to say we should support the office, because we didn't do none of that. And Nelly did all of that, which made some people, hold on, y'all, more construction. Which made some people more upset with Nelly because of his response to the backlash. Like, you don't get, why were you upset? Nelly never really, to me, responded in a way that he should have. I think with Snoop was more honest to me and said, I wanted the money. Yes, I'm rich. I got some money. I can always use more. And maybe he do want connections to the people. So I feel like Snoop was like, I'm not a part of that world. I popped in and popped out. They offered some money, I popped in and popped out. Now the reason he was really upset was because when back in 2020, when COVID-5 was the first time, whatever, Snoop was on camera saying anyone who support that man is a fool and blah 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 blah. So that meant, Snoop, you was a hypocrite. Okay. However, I don't think we are being biased and accepting Snoop. Like, I think people are still upset with Snoop. I don't think Snoop is getting any kind of backlash, blackballing how Chrisette Michelle did, the black woman, okay? But I do think people were upset with Snoop. But I haven't went out and bought shit Snoop related in forever, so I don't think I really support him. I did watch the BET Awards, I did dance around to the songs or whatever, but I didn't buy nothing, okay? And I still brought up, we was upset with him what he did at the little crypto ball, blah blah blah. Now with Nelly, I think Nelly is still on the list. I think that might be why Nelly didn't show up to the thing. Well, Nelly's on tour too, so I don't know, because Ashanti came, Nelly did not. But Nelly was also a huge rapper back in the day. So a part of me feel like more people are upset with Nelly than Snoop. And I think it's because of how Nelly responded. Nelly's response was more in support of Code 45. Okay? Fully. And I said, sir, you stupid. Sir, why would you? I hate riding behind. There's a truck in front of me with a ladder on top, and I feel like, you should not have the ladder should be chopped in the van. Okay, it aggravates. It's our destination. But Nelly response was more doubling down, more acting as if he didn't get why folks was upset with him for supporting and performing, rapping at Code 45 thing, how Chrisette Michelle did. So I think Nelly is still absolutely, in a way, blacklisted, blackballed, not really a part of the black delegation right now, okay? I think because he's married to Ashanti, he will probably still be invited places or whatever, but Nelly ain't said much of nothing since that first thing he did that went viral, of him saying, I support the office. It's the office. I was a military kid, blah 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 blah. We said, shut up, Nelly. You didn't ruin her and her. Okay, so I don't think there's a unrealistic bias that Nelly isn't still blacklisted, blackballed, and ignored because of his support for Code 45. Okay, now with Chrisette Michelle, I always felt like the length of backlash blackballness that K. Michelle has gotten has been overtly unfair. Okay, I also feel like people were so pissed then, and that was before we knew how bad Code 45 was. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you know how up he is. So to support Code 45 now, it's like, oh, you should never be stupidity. I think the reason folks was upset with Chrisette Michelle was because, again, her response after the fact. Oh, we have to support, want to bring us together, and no one cared about that. It was like, no, bitch, no. I do feel like with her blackballing, blackness, being referred, all those things, it's an absolute hypocrisy to it. It's absolute bias because she's a female and a black woman at that. I think she got so much hatred and was so put off to the side by us, truthfully, okay, that she just kind of stopped being around. And in 2025, I really wish she not really, because Chrisette Michelle wasn't this hugely popular, world-renowned artist, but she was absolutely a famous singer who we loved, who we knew, who we supported. And then once she, again, kind of how Nelly did, double down on support of trying to support the new administration, we didn't like it. And I do think because she's a black woman, she got it worse than Snoop or Nelly. Because I can't recall any other artists who was like noticeably were pissed black artists who we are noticeably upset. Now the Lil Waynes, the Ray J's, them fools, I don't think we support them at all in general now because they on some bullshit that's in life at all. You know what I'm saying? In general. But I feel like Chrisette, Nelly, and Snoop were really, they caught backlashes, but only Chrisette Michelle still feels that to this day. I think with Nelly still is on a list of we mad at you. We remember what you did. Okay, we upset. Now Nelly's still touring, but I think it's like a tour with him and other people or whatever. I think Chrisette still toured a little bit, still made music a little bit, but she still got it the work because she is a black woman, and that's unfair. It's fully unfair. But I don't really think that what Snoop is going through and how Snoop was honored recently is any indication that, oh, we don't care, he's forgiven. I don't think Snoop is forgiven. I think he was just already on the list to get that damn award. And that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I really do. I wish folks would re-embrace Chrisette Michelle. I feel like I wish someone would I wish Carlos King. I'm finna run a real light. Announced it. Carlos King interviewed Chrisette Michelle. Ask her how she feels seeing the acceptance of Snoop at the BET Awards. Ask her if she feel like she would have gotten that same support currently based on what happened with her back in 2020. Okay, you want to interview folks? Interview Chrisette Michelle. I ain't that what she has to say. Okay, but there is this hypocrisy, hypocritical antics when it comes to black women or black people, but mostly black women. Okay, I'm not still mad at Chrisette Michelle, and truthfully, I don't think people are still mad at Chrisette Michelle. I just think because she went away because of all the shit, she just hasn't been able to recover. You know what I'm saying? But I do think if she came out and just said, you know what, and I think at one point she did say, at that point she was dealing with some guy. It may have been a husband or somebody in her life who suggested she do all of this and it wouldn't be that bad or whatever, and it went bad. I think she has since said that she followed the instructions of someone in her life who instructed her to do something that did not go how they thought it would. Okay, even stuff she said was so and so said it this way or whatever. It shouldn't be that bad, and it was. And sometimes following the guidelines that a man tells you, you don't get. Men think differently, and what they can do, we can't do. Not because it's not in us to do it, because people won't allow us to be as fucked up as dudes are. they won't allow us to get away with stuff that dudes do, even if it's the exact same thing. Child. So sometimes I feel like, if she did take the instructions, to some guy who was trying to advise her on what to do, and it backfired on her to last 5 more years. Matter of fact, no, because Code 45 was Code 45 like when was that one? When was Code 45 the first time? Because Biden won 2000, right? Or 2000. 2020, right? No, that was Code 45 with COVID. My point is, whenever Chris, because it may have been more than 4 years ago, 5 years ago for Chrisette Michelle, but my point is, I sometimes wish that we as women will remember we can't do what the men do, only because they judge us more harshly than they should. Now why the fuck is you not stopping? The fuck, girl, it's construction around here, and people don't want to drive. And I don't want to hit them. I don't want to hit them. They don't want to hit me. But yeah, we sometimes just get the short end of the stick. But to me, Chrisette Michelle is not currently blackballed for me. And I'm hoping, and I'm wishing and praying, child, that somebody. No, people are it's so crazy. Like the construction, it's so much construction in Michigan right now. But the construction going on the way to my job, people are being dumb and trying to avoid having to wait in line to drive. And they're trying to wait to get to the last point of getting over. And we saying, this lane closed way back there. You can't get in front of me. Sit there and wait. And it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I want Chrisette Michelle to come back. I want folk to stop saying she's still blackballed, because I think sometimes if you keep saying that, folks still believe that, and I don't think she is. I think if Chrisette wanted to come perform somewhere, they should let her. I would let her. I would watch. I would support, because what happened those many years ago, I think since then she came back and said, you know what, my thought process was, I thought we was on one accord. I thought we were trying to make things be, nice for the people, and that ain't what it was. I thought it was. I was wrong. Understand? And let it be that. I think the only person we should have an issue with is Code 45, and people who knowingly support that. Okay, who knowingly. When I saw Kim Kardashian, look, I'm not political. Okay, I heard that it is craziness going on in LA because that man didn't send the troops down there, then sent the National Guard or whatever, and then sent some soldiers, and they are trying to round up people. They're causing chaos in LA right now. And when I saw Kim Kardashian say on a post how, we know the National Guard or the people, people are supposed to keep us safe from like undocumented or illegal immigrants. Okay, folks, whatever. But girl, shut up. Because everybody talk. When I see folks complaining about what that man doing, I'm like, we told y'all. Okay, we expressed what would happen, and now that it's happening, it's too late to be upset and try to claim, I didn't know. Because to me, the Kardashians are all supporters of Code 45, Muskie Man, and all of that. So my thing be, let's be for folk we know are actually supporters of him, not Chrisette Michelle, and not really Snoop. Nelly, yes. But I'm like, justice for Chrisette Michelle. Let's boycott the Kardashians. Now I'm already not. I don't follow none of them on Instagram. Okay, but let's go at them. Let's go at the folk who we know are actively supporting that man. It just aggravates me. But yeah, justice for Chrisette Michelle. But I don't feel like Snoop, is as bad. But he on the list though. We are still side eyeing Snoop. Okay? He getting a side eye for at least the next 2 years. We trying to see if he even attempts to do something with them people. We watching you, Snoop. Nelly, you on the list. Okay, you on there. Chrisette Michelle, fully off the list. Fully off. And we have to stop saying she's blackball still. We have to embrace that lady and let her come back in the fold. Carlos, go ahead and interview Chrisette Michelle about how she feel about, the hypocrisy, the bias that she's getting, that Nelly ain't get like he should have, and even Snoop as well. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna try to find the traffic or whatever. I will talk to y'all later on my live at 9 p.m. And I want y'all to have a great, great hump day. Okay, I gotta go. I love you all. Bye. Peace.